All right, my friends, here we go. This is the grad show. Today we have a pretty light show, which will make it easy. Relaxing. Um, so we are going to start at the top, and we have Ramip. He says, "Love the training program as it brings in discipline into my practice." That's the intention, Ramip. Very good. So we're going to give him a follow, and he's got a kind of a weird thing, but his rating is all messed up. It's all messed up. What does world chess mean? And on chess.com, you got an amazing thing of 855. So, Ramip, I think you are in the wrong cohort, but when you are in the right cohort, I definitely want to, go look at some of your games and see what's going on, you know? Okay, so we're going to move on. Next up, we have Michael Johnson. Michael does not have any games for us today, but let's go see what's going on with Michael. Joined a while back, says he's from the United Kingdom, ready to graduate again, but no games and no work log, so it's hard for me to do anything with that. So, Michael, we know what you need to do. You know, too. You need to start logging your work, put in some games. You're going to graduate again soon. So that's a good opportunity for you. Okay. All right, next up we got Rob. Rob says, just joined the dojo this week. Loving the structure and feel. Just crossed over 650 on ChessCom Rapid due to winning more of my Blender games, so graduating now mainly due to a ton of luck in the Blender games. I do love a Blender though, as you will see. Won 30-minute games in the book and annotated at the time of writing. First longest game ever. Hoping for at least 2 a week. Great. One thing I'm learning in all this is how important mental energy is. In my first classical game, the moment my brain stopped working was tangible. So it seems like a lot of the progress in the early going will be building that stamina over time. Anyways, cheers. Great, Rob. He's got to be from England if he's saying cheers. So, this is Rob. Oh, I was right. I'm good. So, oh man, he's like me, did a doctorate in political philosophy and stuff. Okay. Great. So, Rob has joined and is crushing it. And tactics rating suggests he's going to be going up again fairly soon. Let's see if he's got any clubs going on here. He's in the UK Dojo. And he's got 11 Blender games, and he's got this bad boy he just uploaded. So let's go take a look at this one. We're going to give this a reviewed mark. And what we're going to say is it's great that you use more time than your opponent. You will play many opponents like this, and they are just simply not thinking. They do not have the ability to think. That's part of their growth process, and we don't want to do what they do, but you did much better than they did. Sam, I get it that the title, and I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I don't know how. It says on my thing here, it says, yeah. So I'm going to put it over here. Actually, also Sardinia on Twitch. I thought it was just YouTube. It's very hard to fix the titles once they're set. It's very difficult. So I apologize for that. I don't know. So here we go. Boom. Fine move so far. D6. Fine. And knight f6 has got to be a bad move. From the principles of development that I'm hoping you're following, it's not that bad. But he could have really put a hammer on you. Actually, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I'll do a take back. Because on knight g5, you had knight e5. So maybe this is still okay. So rook e1, I don't know. As long as you develop, you're fine. Knight d4. Now, something here, a mild mistake that you make. By taking the knight, you really bring the queen out into a good spot. Don't worry about him taking here. Normally, we'd say, oh, the queen poorly placed, because we're going to whack her, but we can't really whack her too good here. Castles e5, mistake. This is a mistake because your bishop wants to be opened. This is a bad, not the greatest piece. Also, e5 is not a developing move. What was a good move? Knight c3. Okay, so e5, rook e8, terrible move. Daft, I like that when the English talk about daft moves. That's a daft move. Now, maybe you thought you were tricking him with a back rank situazione, but of course, it's not so easy. They play this. Weird move, honestly. They could have played queen e3 or all the way back. At least now they have to worry about getting their business out. Good. Good. Rook e8, please. Good. King f1. Now, bishop takes c3 is definitely controversial. The bummer for us is we don't really have a way to talk to him. We need to talk to him. Maybe we could try to niggle at him with queen e5. Unfortunately, the guy's going to eventually get out here. Check to the miserable king. Good move by your opponent. Good move. Queen e6. Good move by your opponent. You did this, and now rook e1. Your opponent, by the way, besides playing some poor developing moves in the opening, put together a good couple moves here, even if they're playing too fast. Okay. All right, little frisky because, hey, you can go take on a2. How come we're not, wait, yeah, I would take now. We take, let's take another one. Bishop d2, and you got him, baby, you got him. Yeah, buddy. Now, can we just talk to our friend for a second? Dear friend, if you had moved just a little slower, you basically played this as a blitz game, you would have done fine. You would have done fine. But you did not, so that's why you lost. Simple as that. Okay, let's go to the next game. This is Bonnie. Bonnie doesn't have any games, so we're going to go take a quick look. Bonnie just joined pretty recently. No work done yet. Any clubs, Bonnie? Nothing. Games? Nothing. So, Bonnie, you know what you need to do. We need some games. We need some work done. Next up is JC. He says, I'm an adult improver from the state of Alaska. It's one of the few places I've never been. I am a firm believer in the ChessDojo program. This program has provided me with a roadmap to real chess improvement. Thanks to all the senseis. You guys rock. Thank you. All right. So, this is JC. You can see JC's doing all kinds of stuff. Joined in February 24, so been here a while. And, yeah, has seen pretty good progress here. So that's good. Is there an Alaska club? I think there's maybe I'm sure there's somebody else. JC, if you could start an Alaska dojo, that would be appreciated. That would be my special request from me. All right. Do we got games? He's got loads of games. And this one's, let me just make sure if we got this dates played. Yeah. So this one's a little old. It's not that old, right? Let's check out this one. All right. Now, same story as the last game. His opponent is not thinking. All right. Very common for online play. C6, terrible move. C4, fine. I like E4 a little bit better, but okay. Okay, you are developing. Funky. Knight E5, I don't like it. I want you to develop your business. This is not a developing move with knight E5. Weird. Good. Poor. Doesn't do anything. I want you to develop, of course. Interesting. Good. And now we're going to castle. Okay. All right. So one of the things I want you to see here is that your opponent hasn't blundered any pieces or anything yet, but has definitely broken all the rules with development. And their knight on c7 is terrible, and they've got a long road before the bishop on c8 becomes part of the family of the universe. Okay? I definitely think e4 is the right idea in principle, but why are we hanging this pawn? So a simple way would be queen c2. We're going to prevent castling. We're going to protect the pawn. Now I want you to see here that when you took, you actually gave him the opportunity to free this thing, which he should have probably taken. Okay, this is a little weird. Knight d4. Okay. b5, rook f3. I like your intentions. You're trying to hurt this person. Good. h6. And now you switch. You play rook c1. If you're going to play the rook on f3, bring all the people to the party. Try to reroute the queen over here. Okay? It doesn't make sense to play on the c file with this guy, but then this guy hanging out over here. Weird. I don't understand. I.e., the rook didn't have any business on c1. Good move. Now, this move looks nice, but notice that it doesn't actually do anything, right? So you need some way to create a threat against the king. One way would be to think about one of these queen moves to attack this pawn, and then if he checks you, that's fine. You just drop back. Good move by your opponent. Now he's activated, and your king is funny. Now he says check to the miserable king. Okay. f6 might be a very scary move for us, but that's too fancy. f6 probably is going to hurt at some level here. What are we doing, queen e4? What are we doing? I was thinking about abstract thoughts, and you took with a queen. What are we doing, man? What are we doing, bro? All right. So there it is. Very sad, of course, to lose to a chump who is not thinking at all. Okay. Again, it's a little bit advanced, but let me just say it this way. To make 1,000 dojo, which is 1250chess.com, you need to master 3 skills. I'm going to list them in order of importance. You must learn to not hang your stuff and how to take the free stuff. Number 2, you have to use your clock. You're doing that well. You can see this guy you're playing doesn't do it. You have to 3, learn to develop your stuff, and you're doing that pretty well, but you're not taking advantage in your opponent. So this guy has 2 classic flaws. Doesn't know how to develop, doesn't know how to use the clock. That is why, however, the big one is not hanging stuff, because that's the one you did, right? Okay, well done. Good annotations. All right, that's JC. Now we got Pizza Bones. Mostly in shock of how fast my rating is going up following the program. Preach it, Pizza Bones. All right, so here's the Pizza Bones. North Carolina, growing chess, lifting or cycling. Oh, there we go. Goal for 2026 is to hit 1,000. He might make it. He's at 863 already. I really like that as a goal, by the way. A lot of times we have people joining the dojo and they put some ridiculous goal. For him to make 1,000 this year, it's very plausible, but it will take work. It won't be some simple thing, okay? You can see, dude is putting in the work over here. He says he wants to do 5 hours a week, and he's basically hitting it. Good, good. You can set the number of hours a week that you need to do or want to do, right? I set mine for 15 as an example, right? Okay, here we go. Clubs. I had a feeling he was in that lifting heavy things club, my friend. That's the one where people are progressing the fastest. Charlotte is a great area for chess, too. So here we go, my games and Sensei games to review. I think that's the one he wants me to look at. So here's Sleepy Tubes. Something we want to stress for Pizza Bones is at some point in his chess future, we want Pizza Bones to start playing some OTB there in Charlotte. Okay. Now, one thing's very interesting is that both players played really long here. And honestly, at this level, I'm happy to see it. Even if it's a little too much according to the time graph. The problem that most lower rated players have is they are moving too fast. So this is actually good to see this. All right. Pizza Bones might even consider playing a longer time control, either at the dojo tournaments or otherwise, you know. All right. This is a very fancy move. This is a very fancy move. And that is a very fancy move. Now, what I'm seeing here that's stunning to me is White is playing deep theory. This is what Fischer played. What? This fancy thing is what Fischer played a million years ago. Now, you are doing fine. It's odd to see this level playing this fancy. All right, so here we go. Bishop e2, bishop e7, good. And now loss of time, bishop e3. Castle, castle, good move. d5, very good move. So after playing several fancy moves, your opponent lost time, and now this knight is completely out to lunch. And his bishop's open. You're getting the center. It's looking good, and now he completely blows it. f4. Yeah. d4. I think this is a good move. And he plays f5. Now, the question would be, how do we feel about this? And so this is a key variation we'd want to look at here. And I think the answer is we still just go away with the point that he can't actually take this thing because the lady gets my ladied. Okay? Now, big mistake here, bishop f5. You talk about de3, just move the bishop somewhere. Doesn't matter where. We are winning a piece. That's a firk. That's a firk. Okay, you're better here, but we had a full piece that we were winning. Interesting. Now, what's curious here is you're hanging this pawn. That's no good. And now he's going to blow it. Bang! Welcome to the dojo. Welcome to the dojo, my friend. Yeah. And he just resigns. Now, maybe White should have considered at least playing on. But that was some good stuff to trick him. That was some good stuff to trick him. Okay. I guess it was by happenstance that White was playing all those moves. But he was following like some theory for a while, and that's a little unsettling at this level. As we see, though, at this level, knowing the theory isn't going to help you that much because you're going to hang some stuff. No openings until you stop hanging stuff. That's basically the rule of it. You can learn, however, to develop. Very important. More important than learning how to play openings. Okay, so here we go. Next up, we got next Dojo Talk is when we actually recorded 2 yesterday, so that should be coming out very soon. Next up, we have Karma Portrait. Really enjoying longer time controls and feel like I play better there. Doing my second Dojo Classical tournament recently. Caring less and less about my ChessCom rapid rating. Pizza Bones in the chat. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, he's playing a dojo work. Great. By the way, when you play those dojo tournaments, at the lower levels, we say 30 is the kind of default time control, but you can always ask for more. 30 is just the minimum that we put out there for you to do. All right. So, chess is hard, Karma Portrait says. Yes, And Karma, though, has made it to 600, and you can see that graph. Pretty good. Pretty good graph. Let's pop this out a second. It looks like they've been a little sporadic in the last couple months, but they have made it to this next graduation. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's see. Clubs. The Murder Club. The Murder Club. What, dude? They got the Murder Club going. I didn't know about the Murder Club. All right. We got some, I think he's got some games. So really your game should be here in the My Games. And we want to do this, I guess. Good. And this looks like an OTB, so that's what I'm going to gravitate towards. 115, good. We'll mark it as reviewed. And unfortunately, there's no time, but let's go look at this. Fine. Fine. No, Bishop B7's fine. You're doing fine. 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 You're doing great. Castles. Fine. You're doing fine. Good. You're developing. CD4 is probably okay. I like Rook C8 better. Fine. Poor. 95. Very good move. Give me the business. Rook FD8. Actually, I just really want to compliment you here. You are playing very nice moves, which just make sense. Okay, now Queen F6. At this moment, we should at least consider is there some way to mess with them? Because they are breaking the rules. Maybe there isn't anything, but I just want to stress it looks spicy. Queen F6. Queen B3. Now you played 97. I don't understand 97. I think you can pop him now. The point is that the knight can't come here. I don't understand that move. I guess that was your intention. So you could have popped the knight with E5. You didn't need to do all that stuff. Boom, boom. Little threat. G3. That's probably a mistake. Okay. Queen E4. Good move. Now, I think they're toast. Boom, boom, boom. Well done. Well done. I think that was a great game at this level. That was a really... Oh, that's a nice move, too. Yeah, beautiful chess. Beautiful chess. Ooh, look at that. Dang, son. Dang. For this level, very nice. Very nice. So principled play, reasonable tactics, and an amazing finish. Yeah. Very impressive. Can you focus on Discord me? I don't know what that means. What is that? Can you focus on Discord mean? Next up, we got Alan Stoney. Alan Stoney has done a little work. Let's see what's going on with Alan. Joined recently. He's been working hard. 779. Looks good. Clubs? Nothing. Alan, tell us something about yourself. Games. Me versus little kid. I was dealing with some little kids this weekend, I'll tell you. All right. Weekend quad. Beautiful. So, 19 little Asian kids with me. Let me just tell you guys, I played Maryland Championship this weekend. And that room was, the top section too, was full of just little Asian kids. Unbelievable. All right, here we go. Good. Fine. No, it's fine. Knight BD7. Okay. So one of the things that's challenging about this opening, the Yobava London, is generally they play weird things. The top people who play this, they play like F3 to dominate the knight, to think about G4, to think about E4, all this stuff. Sorry. So when you just play conventionally, it's not that terrible. But now, like, we have to wonder what is our knight doing on c3? Nobody knows. And this one, I don't know. That looks like moving a developed piece twice. Fancy. Now, bishop g6 happens. We should analyze bishop e5 with the intention de knight g4. We should at least think about it. Okay. Spicy. And now this is a poor move. He's missing f3. Now he's lost time. Boom. And here you blunder. So what's important to see here is you're just winning a piece. Yeah. And even if the knight wasn't attacked, you'd still be winning a piece because on bishop g6, you're trapping that thing with h5. And this generally is what they're going to get with losing a tempo like this, right? Something terrible is going to happen when they lose a tempo. Yeah, that was bad. Be great to see the clock times. You can, I know it's OTB, but you can write it down. Good. Okay. Take that thing on e4. He should have protected it. Now you're doing okay again. Queen e3. Good move. You're doing fine. Queen f2. Very nice. Poor move. No one knows what it's doing. h5. I don't know what you're doing. b3 looks reasonable. Queen f3 at some point is going to be nice. Yeah. Now you need to kick the knight with b3 or something. Now he's giving you an isolated pawn. Weird. The bishop was amazing there. Play king b1 maybe. Now we're going to hang a pawn. Now we're worse. Now we got a cheap threat. I like cheap threats. I like cheap threats. Maybe queen c3 here. You need to play a3 to cover up. We hung a pawn. Okay. That looks murderous. 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 Okay. That's what's going to happen to us. Okay. These little Asian kids, I'm personally a little traumatized myself playing them. Okay. But look, you had all the opportunities in this game, right? All the opportunities. By the way, I don't feel like you're playing poor for where you're at, right? You're in the 700, 800 cohort. You're playing pretty good chess. All right, next up, we got the blue bishop. Blue bishop says, I decided to graduate since my elite chess rating allows the graduation. However, I find it strange that it would choose instead to translate my ChessCom rating to Dojo rating. I would be way below if I chose. Is Dojo rating consistent? Yes, it is. We did do the new rating translations, but I don't think our tech guy Jack has got to it yet. So that'll come out reasonably soon. I thought the Polgar Mate 2s were tough, and chess tactics for kids is also interesting in a different way. I feel that improvement has come from a more consistent mindset during games. It's been almost 1 year in the dojo, and the community has been very helpful. I think I'm on the right track. I think a good game to review is my game against JRW. Okay, we will do that. I like Blue Bishop's icon. So, how come I'm not following the Blue Bishop? All right. So, well done. Okay. So he's over there, 951. He could definitely graduate there. And this is kind of weird. Now, elite chess ratings are a little weird in general. Okay, but our translator, our translator didn't move the needle that much on the last, because we do it every 2 years. Yeah. You might want to think about why it's different. I don't know if you play more on one than the other. This looks like, honestly, it's catching up to your elite chess rating if you gave it a little time. All right, this under 1,000 game review, really cool thing. Games. Let's go my games. Boom. And the blue bishop against checkmate master blaster. We'll mark this as reviewed. We'll take a look. Oh, and this is usually where I yell at people. I do this every week, yell at people. If you didn't believe me before, maybe you'll believe me now. The problem with lower rate, it's one of the main problems, the 3 problems they have to overcome is moving too fast. All right, here we go. Good move so far. G3 is a little weird because the bishop is already out here. Okay. Poor move. Castles, very nice. You could have maybe played D4, but there's nothing wrong with castles. Knight G4, moving a developed piece twice, ain't good. Takes the pin piece, not good. And here you're doing great. You are doing great. Especially because the minor pieces at this stage of the game are going to be so much more powerful than the rook. And you got 2 minors now. Fine. Now here, I definitely would want you to think about knight d5. It's just staring at you. Fine. Poor move, bishop f3, because now you whack him and you won a piece. There we go. Yeah. Well, what's going on with black? They're moving too fast. Good move. Little weird. I would prefer bishop d2. He's not doing nothing. Now this scares me a little bit because you're allowing this g5 thing. No, it scares me a lot. Why did we do that? Don't do it. So g5. And here the computer's saying some funny things with knight g2, knight e1. Let's just stress that when you saw this lineup, it was time to take action. And there's a variety of things you can do to break the pin. Simple, for example, would be hitting him and then playing queen e2, or just playing queen e2. Queen g2 is also fine. But allowing him to mess with you, that was no bueno. Now, I do want to say, that knight e6 really is the only. That knight h5, the point of knight h5 is to take away the f6 square. Because on queen f8, he isn't able to bring more power to bear on this point. So here you could still play king g2 and be fine. Uh-oh, Blues Bishop says wrong game. Wrong game? Wait a second. Sorry, Blues Bishop, you were right. You wanted me to look at the other one. JRW. Let's do it. Sorry about that. I had tunnel vision. Here your time is great. Your opponent not so good. So he says Sicilians are scary. Okay. Fine. Blues Bishop loves doing this thing. This is his favorite. Little funky. Now, let me just say, Blues Bishop, what you're doing here, maybe you've seen this somewhere, but you're getting highfalutin. And we really, before you learn openings, we want you to learn how to develop first. Like knight d5, no bueno. No bueno. Now, what would be, bishop e3 would be a thought, f4 would be a thought. Now, f4, bear in mind, is about developing the rook, and we want to whack him. Queen d7, knight f6. So this guy was just a tempo waster. I don't know. Okay. Don't know what b6 is. Good move, f4. All right. g4. Okay. Let's play f5, baby. Yeah. And now black makes a boo-boo. Boom, very nice. Boom, it's all over. It's a Kolovich E4 course for beginners. Okay, but you see what I'm saying? You're making all these non-developing moves, and it just makes your life harder instead of easier. All right, we are definitely... take a walk and then take a fresh look at the board. Good. He's not doing nothing. Good. Good. Fine. Great. Now I'm hoping you gave it to him, and you do. Oh, that's a nice move. That's just simple and strong. B3 is a little bit overkill because you can start mating him with bishop e4, but okay. There's no rush. F1, knight d5. Give me that. Yeah, no rush. Fine. Queen h5. d5, bishop d3. Welcome to the dojo. Very good. Now, that was a good game. That was a good game. Yeah. I liked your time usage. I liked that even though, I have a little bit of issue with this kind of opening that you're doing for where you're at, you played it well. Knight d5 was the only thing that was horrendous. Okay. All right. But knight d5, that's a kind of mistake that a player above your level could make as well. Right? So you're doing great, dude. You're doing great. We expect to see you at the, next level pretty soon. All right, next couple people do not have games, but let's give them a quick look here. First up is James Gleason. Dude, James Gleason is working really hard. He's working really hard, dude. So, James, you're putting in the hours, but you're not putting in any games. So we need to see some games from you, bud. Now it says, so I guess these are ancient. Let me just check on this. Oh, okay. So I know what happened, I think. I don't know, actually. So, see, we have this problem. So basically, this is a dev problem. It's supposed to say 0 if there's truly 0. And maybe you put in these games after you graduated or something. But that's got to be fixed. Because I was about to pass you by here, but... All right, let's go look. So, as we see, this person was unable to think. And both players kind of ran into the no me thinky over here by move 30. We'll keep that up to see what's going on there. Fancy. Fine. Good move. Good move. Good. And now you do a very, if it works, it's amazing. So here we go. Bang. Boom. Bang. Boom. Bang. And I think it's true. I think it's true. So very nice, well calculated. For somebody at this rating level to find that, that's deep south. Okay, so now you've won this nice pawn, and really we just need to find a way to get our minors into the game. Let's see how you do. Good. That doesn't do anything. And now rook e8. I guess it's okay, yeah. And now you played c5. Now here, if you're going to play rook e8, you need to play e5. Basically, you need a way to get the bishop out. So c5, that's not the end of the world, but if you want to, you have two ways. You can play e5 or b6. Honestly, I don't care which one you do, but if you play rook e8, it looks like you are playing e5. So hence e5. a6. I don't know why you're not fixing your bishop. Now here's where it's getting scary. See, because you took forever to open up your bishop, now these guys are looking at your king, and this guy's still sitting here. Knight c5, bishop f1. Okay, e5. It's getting hot now. I think it might be a good move. b4. So this is interesting. Now, could you have played knight a4? I don't see why not. The whole point, right, is to say, if you can play d4 next, your king is going to be safe and your pawns are going to be amazing. So definitely knight a4 looks better. Now we're going to lose the pawn on d4. Boom. Boom. Oh, it's hot, isn't it? Boom, boom. A3. All right, now we're in endgame. Good. Good. Now he's in trouble. Should have maybe thought. Now, one of the things I want to stress, we say this almost every show. We get to the end game. We see this time graph. People stop thinking. They think it's all simple and easy. No, this is actually where it gets the most hard. White needs to think deeply about trying to create some kind of way to draw this game. He is not. He is not thinking. He's just going back and forth. Good. Good. That wasn't it. King C3, please. Very nice. And that's resigning. Very nice. Now, Bishop F3 is easy, but okay. I still want you to play Bishop F3. Okay. Yep. Goodbye. So, well done. Well done. And I thought your tactic of knight e4 was amazing. And then what I want you to really see is that moves like c5 and a6 didn't show the dire need that you had there of fixing your bishop. You got to feel it. You got to be like, bows. I got to get out. I got to get out. So DM Chess doesn't have any games. At least that's what this thing says. And I followed him before. 12 clubs. Nothing. Games. 0. Okay, that's more like it for the algorithm. Jacko, I remember Jacko, had a bit of a break from playing rated games the last few months after getting to the next cohort, but have kept up with studying. Goals for the next cohort: classical game a week, play 1 OTB tournament, a little less blitz. Great, Jacko. So, 1,300. Look at that rise. Look at that rise. His lead chess is the same. We had a question if they were not correlated. They very much are. His tactics rating, impressive. Clubs. The Muswell Hill Chess Club. 2 members. Nice. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, games. Now, let's just see what's going on here. See, he has games too. What's going on, algorithm? Oh, I'm just writing it down so that I can yell at our dev team because they said they were going to fix this and they did not. They did not. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to mark this as reviewed. Who are you playing? You're playing somebody who doesn't know how to think. Here we go. Fun. Okay. Usually you wait until you take, like Bishop G7. But you're doing fine. Good. 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 A3. Poor move. This is a position where, put as a narrative, you have a Benoni structure, and our real goal here is to give white enough drama on the B and A files to prevent him from smashing us in the center and then the king side. If they give us weaknesses, that's a cherry on top. Like now we got this B3 square. So A3, typical mistake here. Now you got a lot of good moves. Let's see what you do. Good. I like Queen B6 as it feels much more natural to me. Good. Okay. Knight B6 makes sense to me. Okay, now what I need you to feel is your knight on A6 needs improvement. Good. Very nice. Little funky. I need you to fix the knight. He should definitely have considered pawn takes. He needs to consider b4. And now you got him. And one of the interesting things about this kind of position is, at least what the old timers would say, is they would say, well, look, anytime I get the pawn back and or get initiative on the queen side, it's actually a lost position. That might feel a little much, but it is it is really bad for him now. Good move. Probably incorrect. You like queen a2. I think he's lost, by the way. I think queen b3 looks real good, as an example. I still like your position on knight d4. That one I don't like. Definitely pawn takes. And now there's some interesting questions. He plays rook d1. I think he should play king f2. Or, excuse me, play b4 first. And he can at least dream about it, as the song says, you know. I can dream about you if I can hold you tonight. Right? You b4, and then the threat is this. And snippy snop, and then the king would help the b pawn advance. Poor. Why did I take the draw? Because you were a chump. Is this... if you play it out against a computer, by the way, it should be a bot that is like this person's level. Black is better here because the rook is cutting the king. Now, if you're playing Magnus, is Magnus going to draw? No, he's going to beat you still as white. That's not the point. The point, though, is that this is a little unpleasant for white, and he could definitely blow it. We begin with moves like h5, king g7 come up. We have chances to crack him. All right, well done, though. And especially if you see your opponent, he wasn't thinking at all. So he would have thought this is an easy peasy situation. No, this is the grind moment. The grind moment. Next up, we have Angelinosa. And Angelinosa, we're going to give a little follow to here. Joined fairly recently, 14-15. Great. Lichess way up there with the Lichess. And, yeah, looking, Angelina joined. And Angelina is doing the work. Okay, so very interesting to see this. What happens when you do the work? Bang, you go all the way up. Clubs. Aus Deutschland. Nice. Yeah, wait a second. Did it say games? See, it said you had 7. Okay, good. All right, let's do this one. Lino Chesley, very nice time graph. Notice we get stronger players, a better time control. All right, so here we go. Fine. Spicy. All right. This is mildly dangerous because maybe white will get an attack, but I like your move. I like your move. The bummer about bishop c4 is the question is like, are you dead? He looks kind of dead. Good move. Good move. Good move. Queen c7, nice move. a3, poor, not developing. Rook he1 would be more, let's call it thematic. White loses another tempo. You said thank you very much. h6, fine. And now you castle. You got a question of what to do, right? You could have also kept him guessing. You could play knight d5 as an example. But I think your move is fine. b4 is a good move from your opponent. They got to try to do something. Check to the bishop. And now knight fd5. Okay. Might not matter too much. My soul prefers knight bd5, but I think it's just fine. Okay. Now, I guess we could say this is an advantage of what they did. However, I think f5 would have been a good move here. The point is that we stop the rooks cold. We take away this square, which was the only thing kind of scaring me. And maybe we'll even use that pawn to attack. That's our extra pawn. Let it do something. All right, rook d7, a little passive. Good. Good. And now you play f5. Well done. Knight c5. Let's trade it, sure. Okay. And now you're going to go for it with g5. I think I like it. Queen e1. Rook e7. Good. c4. That isn't it. Let's bring in the horsey. I wanted, last move, I was like, Lino Chesley could have played knight f4, but you said, hey, let's just wait till they play c4. Rook d8's got to be it. I don't know about that. And you said, all right, I'll take it. This might have been a good moment to go for it with e5. Get those pawns rolling. This scares me, because now you're giving queen h8 takes h5. You'd have a variation here. Let's give it a shot. They'd probably go to h1, a little safer. Yeah, so here we go h1. All right, a4. I like g4. Oh, there we go. Good. You have the right spirit going on. b6, a6. Okay. Now, they should not be taking. They should definitely be considering queen e5. Put that lady right there. Just stare at that square malevolently. That's what they do anyway. You say, here, okay. All right, here we go. Rook f1. Queen e7. Queen d6. Poor move. Poor move. Thank you. I don't know what they're doing. And now e4. Now you said rook d8, queen e7, but let's just show something here. Let's look one move deeper. Oh no. Oh no. I like this move for you better. If rook f7, e3, rook f7, e2. We continue. We're going to mate him. We're going to mate him. Now they're not going to survive, but, good move. They're not threatening nothing. Good move. That wasn't it. Oh, just take it and play king c8. Oh, this is getting too fancy for me. Why not rook f8? This is getting a little fancy, but good move, and they're done. Whew. So Lino Chesley, pretty high level game, very nice time usage, and just a couple inaccuracies really. I feel like your chess is doing well. You think about it, yeah, you're at 14-15. It's getting competitive, but you are playing good, solid chess, for sure. All right, so we're back over here. It's ABT, it has one game. Let's give it a look. And ABT from Canada hasn't been that active recently, but then had a great result, pushing them into the next cohort. I have a feeling we're not going to see any, well, maybe one game from ABT. Clubs, games. ABT, tell us something about yourself. So you see what the algo's doing. It's only, I don't know why it's, we're gonna look at a game, but generally it needs to be a little bit more recent than this. All right, we'll take a look. So no times given. Fine. Fine. Queen b3, not a bad move. Gives him a big question. Queen c8. I think knight c6 might be interesting for them. Okay. d5. Bishop e3, obviously a thought. Knight e5. I think you should take on e5. Okay. f4, good move. f5. Very debatable. It's very important for you to see that the most important part about f5 is that it is taking this thing away. And now you can just come back. This helps black. Okay. With the right intentions anyway. I like this. I like that. By the way, we need better annotations here, a little bit more. I like that you're sacrificing the exchange. You're getting the pawn on d6. That was very nice. That might have been a little accidental, but that's fine. You're playing good. Why can't we take on b7? I don't know. We need some annotations. Do I understand that move? I don't. That's kind of nice. Does it do anything? I don't know. That might be a very nice move. Well, congratulations. That was well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Check to the miserable king. Okay. It's interesting. One thing maybe just to note about your... Uh-oh, that was a blunder. About your notes is, you know, there's a whole bunch of moves here. Something needed to be said. And here you start talking about the top engine recommendation. And, you know, it's honestly hard to learn how to annotate games. So that could be something that you just say to yourself, right, that's something that I can work on. By the way, for anybody out there, we have these game and profile review classes that have been really going well. I think they work for anybody, but especially if you feel like, oh, this game annotation, I don't know what it's like, how to do it. It's a great group that will help you figure it out. And you can find that all in the live classes. We also have the workshops going on. Really nice. Okay, so we got that. And we got Duboff Fan and Stellfish. Duboff Fan says, the Polgar mates have been helpful, and I definitely should be doing more calculation works. We'll be back to the grad show shortly. Now, look at this. 112 points of work. Duboff Fan is doing the business. He's doing the work. And really impressive run of it here. Very nice run of it. Okay. USCF may be a little inactive, but would be good to get some of those OTB games going. Austin Dojo, there's a lot of dojoers in Austin. A lot of serious dojoers in Austin. Okay, my games. Let's click over here. And we got this one. Okay. America's Open Classical. Interesting. Good time control. Good time usage. We'll give this a marked reviewed. Good. Good. And definitely a poor move. Because this is kind of a known structure that's good for white. You can think of it as a reverse same-ish where now you're up, you're up time. Definitely 95, but I still like your position here. E6, 95. Good. It's hard to give him advice. Good. Good. And then you play Queen E2, which is okay, but like the thematic way to play the position is F4. I don't understand this. This is great, what you're saying here. Because it really is a thematic position. I don't understand A4 too much. I think F4, you just got to do it. Because you have this great plug on F6. You want to make that thing stronger. You want to start raging him on the king side, thinking about popping him with this bishop. Good. And that's the fancy move right there. D4 doesn't make any sense. Now, we're talking about thematically. Thematically, this is not a dumb idea if it worked to block your bishop. But if it doesn't work, it don't work. Okay. Now, we give him some props that at least he's thinking about fixing his bad bishop. Okay, knight d6. g5, good. And now queen h5. Very nice variation. And what we'll say about your variation is it highlights the power of the dark squares in this position, right? And the fact that when you have opposite color bishops, if you get the initiative on the dark squares, forget about it. You're up a piece on that color. Okay, so you go knight e5. Probably should have considered g6. All right, fe5. Now, what's the bummer? You blocked your bishop. You're still doing great. Okay. Queen h6, queen f8. Now, you don't like this move, but I don't know what else he's supposed to do. Okay, f1. Boom, boom, boom. c4. And I love this, yeah. I think it would be good to analyze bishop b7 and ask yourself, how bad is it for black? It might be toast, and here I think is the critical line. Bishop a3. Now, if rook c8, there's d4. If rook c7, this is the move I want to talk about. Black has chances just because of the opposite color bishops. We go here. Let's put the rook here for a second. I don't know what to do for him. This is the problem. Check to the miserable king. And this, and I think it's, well, I know it's gone. I know it's gone. Okay. So that's the kind of variation we'd want to put in there. Good move. Thank you very much. And now you played b4. I think I like it. Bishop d6. Very good. h4. I'm not sure I understand it. It seems like you can start playing d4, d5. Poor, yeah. That doesn't make any sense. c5. Now, in general, c5, what we should say is like, wait a second. I need to make sure I control the light squares. And so when you start putting your pawns on dark squares, it's a little funky. I have a feeling you're trying to protect this pawn. Notice this nice variation. Here, 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 goodbye. So rook a4 looks a little stronger. Rook a1, excuse me. Okay. I don't know why yeah, that's bad. Check to the rook. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. All right, that was well done. That was well done. Yeah, I liked it a lot. So that's the famous Dubov fan, working hard, bringing it. You can see here, Dubov fan goes through, let's say, moments of passion with his chess study, but he is getting it done. He is definitely getting it done. Now, I see a bunch of people here, and that must mean one thing. Because no one rated us, it means that chess.com has us floating on their main page somewhere. So if you're just joining us, watching a little bit on that ChessCom page, this is the graduate show. We do this every week, usually Wednesday at this time. And we're just celebrating people who, with the Dojo Training Program, have gone up a level, who have leveled up. And we got one more, and that's Stelfish. Stelfish says, since I just had a very intense exam phase at university, I could not yet make much use of the Dojo program. However, I already felt a tremendous sense of improvement from being more deliberate about how I spend my time on chess. More deliberate study and slower games instead of midnight blitz. I have played my first classical game with another dojo member, and I'm eager to play more now that my exams are finished. I think from a motivational standpoint, these longer games are very good. They feel more meaningful and necessitate longer preparation and study. Well said. So, this is Stelfish. We're going to give him the follow button And yeah, what's going on with Stealthfish? Joined, and yeah, he's had some exams to do, buddy. He's had some exams to do. He's aus Deutschland in Berlin. Beautiful. And does he have games? I think it said he had games. He has one game, so we're going to go check that out. So here we go. I'm going to mark this as reviewed. Now, I think Stellfisch is from the German word einstellen, which means to drop a piece, you know. Eine Figur einstellen. So I think that's his thing. And then, of course, he's a fish. Don't be so rough on yourself, buddy. Good move. Poor. This actually just helps him. Good move. Your opponent knows what they're doing. This is very frightening. And this is terrifying. Okay. So, Stellfisch. This is funny. What's just happened to you, okay, is you've fallen victim to somebody who's really done the deep computer work. And this F4 move, I can remember seeing it. I had a student, and when he played it, I was mad at him, and then he's like, no, that's what the computer says. And I looked at it deeper, and I was like, oh my God. So I was mad at him because it looks ridiculous to not develop. But the main point about this F4 move is to get the knight here and to say goodnight. Now, long story short, H6, I think, is inaccurate. At your level, it should be fine. However, you are playing a genius here in terms of openings. I don't know how good this person is, but they are a genius in terms of openings. They are actually following my course, an aggressive repertoire for white that you can find on Chessable. Yeah, okay. So H5 is an improvement. I talk about that improvement in the course too, instead of H6. Very well played by black. And you talk about knight G4, but it's actually lost here. I remember this line. H5, knight E5, king E8, and yeah, it's bad news. You talk about knight G4, there's a number of moves, but like this one is already, that's crispy coconuts right there. I'm talking to this thing, I'm talking to this thing, you know, I'm bringing out my guys. Look at this thing. God level. That thing is God level. Okay, now the problem with bishop e4, because bishop e4 does look like a very natural move, is when you look at your position, it's important to understand if you lost this bishop, that your light squares would be toast. And so that's the actual problem. I have sympathy, though, with you playing bishop e4, because it kind of looks like, hey, that's what I should be doing. One of the reasons why f4 was kind of a surprise for me when I first saw it. All right, knight c3 is fine. Bishop d3 is also a fine move for him. All right, boom, boom, boom. White is playing excellent chess. Excellent chess. All right, they still got to knock you out. Now, bishop c4, they might be being a little lazy because you want to play e6 anyway. All right, we're going to give bishop c4 a chance, but I think bishop e3 makes the most sense to me because all white needs to do now is to get castled. There's even an argument that he should be doing that to you. And the point with that would be to prevent you from playing e6, to get your coconuts out. So good move. Okay. Okay. Now, you're going to run to the king side, and maybe you're just going to be gone there, though. That's the problem, huh? Queen d2. Now, whenever you say double question mark, you should say what they should have done, right? Yeah. So, rook g1, for example, looks strong. That way, he's just wasting time. You got to talk about rook g1. Rook g1, man. Knight d5, okay. King d7 looks very natural to me. That wasn't it, huh? And you thought forever here. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we just lost a piece. Boom, Boom, and now we're toast. Bummer. Yeah. And you did think about it. He's playing. I mean, it's sad because he played elements of this game really poorly. But he did play like super GM level opening prep. Okay, so he followed my course. He followed my course. Yeah. Okay. Now that one, yeah, he let you back in though, right? So, but I just want to say, at this level where you're at, okay, so we're talking about 1600 now. Occasionally you might get some opening fiend who knows my course and can hurt you, but notice they couldn't actually finish. Right? Something to be aware of. Okay, so my good friends, I think we're going to call it for the day. Going to raid somebody. And who do we got here?